is Jazz Autistic 2. Oh dear. Update on Jazz. A few concerns we've had about her. Had a really hard time with the Halloween decorations. Good morning guys, welcome to another vlog. Today we have visitors all weekend. It's actually Sunday now and my mom's coming up today, but yesterday Jordan had a friend come up. Tomorrow we're seeing family. Like, it's a weekend, a long weekend full of seeing people, which is really good for us because we don't see them very often. So we've got about 2 hours until my mum arrives, so I thought that we might put up some Halloween decorations, seeing as it's the beginning of October now. We are a Halloween family. We love Halloween. I'll put up some pictures of our past Halloween costumes and decorations, and we're still thinking of what we want to go as this year. Jazzy's swinging on Jacob's swing and singing. I'm going to come on a little bit later and talk to you guys about Jazz. A few concerns we've had about her. I haven't wanted to say too much until we got the final report back from the OT's sensory assessment. It's been a little bit of a process because Jazz is a very different person to Jacob, so we really didn't know what to expect. So I will give you guys the rundown of that later on in the video, but for now, we're gonna go decorate for Halloween. So Jazzy's already gotten in the Halloween spirit. She's wearing her witch's outfit. It's just barely fitting her. And I can't show you Jacob because he isn't wearing anything, are you? The school holidays have got him good. I think he's going backwards.
I want to show you.
Oh, you want to show me?
Yeah.
I'm wearing my Inclusion Revolution t-shirt that I love, and my jean shorts and my Converse. So I thought that Jacob was just playing around and pulling all the decorations down that I was putting up. But in all seriousness, I think he was struggling with the change, especially during the school holidays. So this then turned into a meltdown, and this is how we calmed him down from that.
Knuckles, good boy. High five, good boy.
Whoa! You look naked.
I am not naked. High five.
High five.
To fight?
Hi. Hi.
Okay.
Knuckles.
Okay, so quite obviously you guys saw that Jacob had a really hard time with the Halloween decorations. We put them up every single year, yet this year seems to be different. We've noticed more and more, as we've told you guys, that when we put things places and he is very dysregulated, he will put them back. So we can't pack anything away or put something in the bin because he'll just take it out and put it exactly where it was. He doesn't want to change. I put a pause on the Halloween decorations. I think we'll do a little bit every day, or I'll try and do it when he's not here, which is a shame that I was really looking forward to showing you guys all of our Halloween decorations, but it is what it is. And I'm about to prepare some overnight oats, so I thought I'd show you guys. I don't know how interested you are. Sorry about the loud YouTube video in the background. Okay, so we buy these massive quick oats from Coles, and then we put it in this little big jug. These are the jars we use from Kmart. I believe we got them from Kmart. They're the perfect size, 300 mils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That video that's in the background is obnoxiously loud, but she's not well, so I'm not gonna try anything right now. This is a 2/3 of a cup, but I put about 3/4 of that, so it's probably about a half a cup. You're gonna touch it, are you? You gonna help me? Huff. Put it in there. Yep, I'm coming. So I think that Jazz has gastro. I'm not 100% sure, but she's not feeling well and she's been sick a lot. She hasn't eaten much. She's had like one of those, what are they called, hydrolyte ice blocks, but she just requested some food, so I'm gonna make her some toast. Usually this is really quick to do, but I'm being interrupted every 2 seconds, so next thing to go in are some chia seeds. We buy the big bags of blueberries. Now I use this protein. Jordan has this hunka junka one, and I just sprinkle a little bit on each one just to give it a bit of flavor. This is what it looks like now. I usually put a little bit of milk in now because sometimes the milk doesn't go all the way down to the bottom. So I put a little bit of milk now, and then I fill it up again with oats and then milk on the top. Do you guys eat a healthy breakfast or one at all? I know that we're all so busy in the mornings, so this was super easy to make ahead of time, so I could just grab it out of the fridge and eat it on the go. Can anyone relate? This was all clean before I did that. And this was clean too. What are you doing, Jacob? Are you trying to make your own noodles? Oh dear. Do you want Mummy's help? Help? I can help you, but you gotta bring it in the kitchen. Oh dear. Okay, so I'm not even lying to you guys. During these school holidays, I've had to pick up the vacuum like 5 or 6 times a day, and it's driving me nuts. Before, like the first week of the school holidays, we have a cord vacuum, like just a simple plug in the wall cord vacuum, and it was giving me the S's. pick it up out of the cupboard, plug it in, vacuum, put it back in the cupboard, all of that. Yes, you are the mess maker. You're the mess maker. Our old vacuum was kind of, it was broken and you have to like hold it a certain way to actually use it. So we decided to get a new one, and I was like, don't want to spend too much money because obviously everything that comes into our house gets broken. But on an average day, like during the school term, I would vacuum probably twice a day, once or twice, 0 times if it was a really, really bad day. Let me know, guys, how many times a day you vacuum your houses, because, and there's no judgment if it's like 0 for a whole week, because I've done that too. But the messes, the sensory messes, I'm being pushed. The sensory messes are real in this house, so I have to have a stick vac. And I wanted to show you guys this one because we got it from Bunnings. You guys are gonna hear Peppa Pig in the background, but this is the stick vac from Bunnings. If you're from Australia, if you're not from Australia, I don't think we have it. You have it there, but it's a DeWalt one. We have the DeWalt like lawnmower and trimmer, so we decided to get this. It's really small, easy to maneuver in little spaces, and it's just so easy. We're gonna put it up on our wall so I can just pull it off, vacuum, and pull it back. So let me show you. He's not gonna like me moving this. Not at all. And just like that, after I made his noodles, he went back to this spot and made the mess again. Oh. Hey guys, so I am coming back in at the end of this vlog. I mentioned before that I was going to give you guys an update on Jazz. I've been a little hesitant to post about this, and I've had a lot of questions. And the number one question I receive from you guys is Jazz autistic too? Are you worried that she is autistic? Yada yada yada. We've done a lot of observation of Jazz over the years, and there's been up and down times where we've been like, oh, that's very autistic of her to do, or that's very typical of her to do. Jazz is a very verbal child. If she were autistic, it would be very, very different to Jacob's experience of autism. They're very much two different people, and we have been keeping an eye on Jazz. Yeah, not stressing ourselves out too much. More recently, we've been noticing a few sensory processing difficulties that she might have, a few like repetitive behaviors, and also some emotional regulation troubles, which can be very typical of a 3-year-old. However, it's been a challenge. Navigating the two of my children together has been a challenge. Jacob can get heightened quite quickly, and Jazz can get heightened quite quickly. So when they both get heightened together, regulation is very hard for me to do, especially if I'm on my own. I was actually just speaking to Jacob's OT, Jacob's occupational therapist, about this. It just came up in conversation and I just kept going, like I just vented so much. And I said to her, I said, I don't know whether I should be looking into this further because, yeah, I just didn't know. And she said, let's do a little session together and I can do a little bit of an assessment of her. So this is pretty much, I think, like a sensory assessment. You know, throughout that assessment that we went to, it was an hour long. Jazz just played with her, did some activities, some physical things, and we quickly noticed a few things. Jazz is hypermobile, which is more common than I thought. I didn't even know what hypermobility is. Hypermobility is basically double jointed. You know, we saw a lot of kids be double jointed growing up, and I think the statistic is 1 in 4 people are double jointed or hypermobile. And so Jazz is, however, it is less common that it actually affects someone's daily life. So for Jazz, it's affecting her core strength, it's affecting her fine motor, gross motor skills, and in turn, I think sensory issues, and then it's creating an inability to regulate her emotion. So she started doing some like hand exercises with her. We quickly noticed that she was hypermobile, and I really don't do well with seeing that stuff. Like, I've never really liked it. But then we were like soon realizing, oh wait, she can do the splits really well. I thought that was typical of a toddler, but no, apparently not. In the past, she's had these days where she just won't use her arm, and I think it's because she's hurt it, and she just like literally won't use it because she says it's too sore. Jazz did a little cutting activity with the OT, and after not very long, she said to her that her hands were sleepy. Now, Jazz tells me all the time that she's tired. I'm so sleepy, I'm so tired, I can't walk very far. She always wants us to pick her up, and we just thought that she was being a toddler, but turns out she's actually is tired and her legs are like sore, and that was a big realization for me. Also, like the tiredness and all the sensory processing issues was creating a lot of emotional dysregulation for her. So we've seen like some pretty big tantrums, borderline meltdowns, and I didn't even know if they were meltdowns or not. Turns out they are. You know, I was explaining everything to the OT, and she said, you know, with all of that sensory input going on, that's too much for her. The overstimulation, the tiredness from her body, it all impacts her emotional regulation. We've been having a really hard time with Jazz pushing Jacob into overstimulation. Therefore, when he starts screaming and getting overstimulated, that overstimulates her, and then they go and erupt together. So for her sensory processing, I didn't realize it was actually greater than I expected. Jazz does not really like us to brush her hair. She'll go a whole week without wanting anyone to touch her hair. Specifically, her ears are very sensitive. I know that sensory processing difficulties can be very common for children, so it's things that they can grow out of as they get older. Turns out there's a lot more going on than I expected. Things around her mouth, maybe because she isn't upset in that moment, it's not triggering something in my head going, oh, that's a sensory processing difficulty. Jazz has a reaction to laugh at a lot of things, as toddlers do, but brushing her teeth, oh, that tickles, it's funny. And she'll laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh, and I mentioned this to the OT, and she was like, yeah, she's got sensory aversion to the mouth. It may not come out as, oh, this hurts, la la la, it's coming out as it's ticklish. We have applied for the NDIS for Jazz, and I'm hoping that we can get just some physical therapy for her, maybe some occupational therapy for her, just to build her muscles. She's very clumsy as well. She falls over a lot, and I think that's to do with what the OT was talking about, like her core strength. She slumps over a lot when she sits. When she runs her legs really wide so she can stabilize herself. She's got sensory aversions to loud noises. The way that she combats this is by making her own noise to sort of drown out other noises. So you'll hear her singing and talking, and that's why we're having a bit of a hard time to like talk at home, because when we start talking, like Jordan to myself or myself to Jordan, she'll talk over us, and now we're realizing that that's just her way of coping with the noise. She's said to us so many times, you're hurting my ears hurt. She's now using Jacob's earmuffs from M's for Kids, and that goes hand in hand with like the excessive talking. We thought this was an autistic sign. She talks I know a lot of toddlers talk a lot. Jazz, she talks a lot. And so the OT mentioned that this might be just a way of her regulating herself. The other signs that we saw of autism are like listening to songs over and over again, like the same songs over and over, reading the same books over and over again. She's been stimming a little bit, like with her sounds, and a lot of these things, like we were just like, is she just copying Jacob? Like, you know, she can copy
what he's doing. When she was littler, she did this thing where she would like tense up, but I don't think that she is autistic. I mean, it's very hard to tell. It's more common for girls to go undetected for a while, but I did want to keep you guys updated and in the loop once I knew more and once I got that report back, because I think that it's important to be transparent with you guys, but also like know what's going on before I speak to you guys. I know a lot of you have experienced secondary autism diagnosis. I don't even know if that's the word. Like your second... So your first child was diagnosed autistic, and then your second child was then diagnosed autistic. I think it's very common that families have some kind of hereditary autistic, whatever it is. I don't want to speak too much. I'm not an expert, but yeah, I'd love to know down below what your experiences are of that, like whether you've questioned whether your consecutive children are autistic because another child is autistic. Like, what are your experiences of that? Comment all of that down below. I'm gonna stop speaking now. Thank you guys for watching this video. It was a little bit all over the place, and I hope to get back into some regular videos next week because we are back to school and back to regular routine, and I won't have both kids a lot of the time. So it's been a school holiday period. I think it's been better than the ones before, but fingers crossed we just get through it and survive. I will see you all in my next video.
So we're here today at Jazz's makeup studio. She's doing a very, very good job. Jazz has just finished on Daddy's feet. Should we show them what they look like?
Yeah.
So, to the camera. These are Daddy's feet. Very beautiful. She's done a very good job. And she did her favourite colour, which is rainbow. Oh, and right now she's doing yellow. Here we are with an update with how things are going in daddy-daughter time. And
my daughter?
You're my daughter. Can we get the viewing of your...
Cookie.
The baby you did, Jazz. You painted her nails. Do you want to show the camera how you painted them?
No, you need to show them.
Yeah, you're right. I guess you're right. I think he had a bit of snot. I think we drew that one time as a joke because the baby was sick.
No, it's Play-Doh.
Oh, you put Play-Doh in his mouth.